And he's out.
This is nice.
How was everyone's evening?
Awesome.
Who embarrassed themselves?
Everyone.
Yeah? Right. What did you do back there that everyone's pointing? Everyone is literally pointing at you. What did you do?
I can't even see that far.
Did you throw up on someone?
Who is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you even like
Dumped under the chairs.
What did you do?
Did you guys see me dance last night?
Yeah.
Your memories will be blanked.
Stare at this riff.
It may or may not be on my Instagram story, so.
Did you?
What?
Everybody's so calm. What happened?
I know, right?
Did you guys have coffee?
Yeah,
You did. Well, let's see it. Come on.
I should make them dance.
Do you want to? We'll talk to you. Stargate was a show that was set in the present. It was about a secret government operation that involved a Stargate and off-worlds. Because it was set in the present, we could use hipper and cooler language than Star Trek, which is set in the future. If you have any other questions about how Star Trek and Stargate relate, now's your chance. Because I know both shows inside out. You will not find a better... Oh my God.
Oh no! Rainbow, your mom's here.
my mom's black.
Do they, I forget, do they tear your heart out and eat it? What do they do?
No, they just attach themselves on you and suck the life force out of you.
Yeah, you know how I said I knew everything about both shows? That was a complete lie. You suck, it's
They're like a lamprey, like a sucker
and they
fish.
just suck but once the life goes out, then you're just an empty husk.
Oh, you're just dead.
That's how I felt after dancing.
Yeah, you're terrible.
Does anyone think that the elves from Hellboy look like rapists? What was that all about? They just have like leftover makeup. That's really strange.
Wait, what?
The
Yeah,
elves.
the elves from Hellboy 2, Golden Army, they looked exactly like
Well,
rapists.
what about the two gray guys from the sequel to Matrix too?
They also.
Oh yeah. Well, they look like raver rapists.
They were
Reggae rapists.
They look a little like rapists that were doing a shampoo.
Hold up. She's like, here, when I suck your energy, you turn into an old man. And I was like, no, I turned into an old lady.
It's Barbara Bush, isn't it?
Nice.
Too soon.
Should we just jump into questions?
It's up to you guys. We can chat. Do you want to know?
Or beatboxing, whatever.
How many Stargate shows were you on?
That cat again.
Just 10?
No, it was just on the Atlantis.
You were just on Blast.
Yeah, but we had to cross over.
You were just on Universe.
We had to cross over.
Although somebody sent me a picture from the pilot of SG-1 of a dude who's like, was this you? First of all,
You were 7.
I was a kid. Secondly, it's just a heavy-set actor. And I'm like, come on.
But I do that to you just like any fat guy that I see. Is this you?
No, that's John Goodman. You're watching Roseanne.
Is that you? And it's like, no, that's Chris Farley, and I was also a baby.
He's built like a god now, right? Do you remember when he had a few extra pounds?
Yeah.
You had all of them.
He lost
the extra.
enough weight to create another actor.
Actually,
That's Randy Bolton.
I mean, listen, I'm like a New York cockroach. I've been everywhere. I was on all 3 Stargate shows. I think, wasn't I? I was on yours once.
Yeah.
I was on,
What'd you do?
I guess if you get to be old enough, you're everywhere.
You just need to do Star Wars, and you've literally done all the Star
The
Wars.
trifecta. I win the trifecta. Even if I'm on Clone Wars, do they still make the cartoon?
Yeah, my
Rebels
sister's
now.
on it. My sister.
Which is so good.
If your sister gets me on there, then I have done all 3 franchises.
That would be amazing.
It'll be a big kickback for you.
Done. Great.
Hold on a second.
We're
We're doing personal phone calls. Now we're just jumping in.
Is calling?
Hey, what are you up
Who
to?
needs an answering machine?
Who's this?
Outgoing message, because that's
Hello, who's this?
It's Jeff.
Mel? Where you at, Mel?
I'm right next to you.
Why are you at this convention? Do you not like sci-fi stuff?
I don't even know who you are.
So you don't like sci-fi stuff, or you do?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then why didn't you come to the convention? You too good to come to a convention, or what's going on?
Yeah, it's just a bit much for my children. Two young children. So
Wait, do they watch sci-fi stuff?
they do, they love it.
Well, get your butt on down here.
It'd be a long way to come down, wouldn't it?
Okay, well, hold on. There's a whole room full of people, and I feel like...
Tell him he's on speakerphone.
Oh, you're on speakerphone, by the way. You're talking to a whole hall full of people.
Brilliant.
Nice meeting you. I'm handing you back now. It's still on speaker, just so you... I just wanted to know who the cat was.
That was a cat?
The cat ringtone.
You were talking to a cat? I'd like to manage that cat.
Yes, Alf. The second Alf joke I've made in 2 days. Everyone wants that show since I was
Why?
I don't know. Because he ate cats. Anyway. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. A few cats died during the making of this show.
That's a show that deserves like a weird, edgy reboot. Alf in space. You ever watch Alf?
Alf? Of course I watched
Okay. I thought you didn't know it.
What, you want to do a 2017 reboot of Elf? Like, it's sort of like he does drugs. And
Yeah. Dark.
sort of like a sociopath.
He like runs a club or something. I don't know.
He snorts cats.
He snorts
He
cats.
snorts cats? He does have the schnoz for it.
How would that work?
David's writing the pilot right.
But he eats them too, so that'd be like, you know.
No, he doesn't anymore. He just snorts them. That's what we just said.
We'd have to skip.
It's a rule now.
So you would rather talk about a
Anyway, yeah, sorry.
drug-addicted Alf who would ask me, that's the extent of your interest in Stargate is that you'd rather talk about Alf on drugs.
These are, anyone who follows me on Twitter knows that this is the way my brain works.
If you have any Stargate questions, now would be the
That would be the time before I derail.
You don't have, I'm going to ask all of my favorite. Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Do you have questions?
Thank you. God bless you.
I want to know what your questions are.
I have questions.
It's Bob. Of the three Stargate franchises, which would you prefer working on and what are your reasons for?
Well, I would have to say Atlantis. 'Cause when I was introduced on SG-1, I was just brought in as a douchebag. The guy who was supposed to assign blame was a one-off and was supposed to be a bad guy. Then the producers decided that they liked me and they painted themselves in a corner by making me such a douchebag. So what they did is every time they brought me back, I became a douchebag with one tiny personality improvement. So the first time I came back, I was a douchebag who meant well. I was a douchebag who really believed in oversight of a secret government operation. The second time, I was a douchebag who meant well, who knew he was a douchebag. The third time I was a douchebag who meant well, who knew he was a douchebag, who really wished he wasn't a douchebag. So every time I had a slight personality improvement.
Until you're like the nicest person.
Well, I was the nicest person ever.
You're like, hi!
It was it really made story. When they offered me the command of Atlantis, I said, "You got to be kidding! I'm a douchebag. Nobody likes me. I have no leadership skills, and I'm a coward. How am I going to be a leader?" They said, "Don't worry, that's our problem." So I said, "Great, I'll do it."
I love that. I love the idea of approaching acting that way. Like, what level of douchebag am I? Actually, you haven't been on all of the Stargates.
I was on Universe.
But you weren't in the movie. Technically, there are 4 Stargates.
What are you talking about?
There's the movie SG-1 Atlantis.
No. Stop, dude. You're really...
It's true. Because the name of the TV show wasn't Stargate, it was Stargate 1.
You're being a real...
All right, he's being a douchebag. And we haven't even redeemed you yet.
Yeah.
French Stewart was in the original. And he was on Universe. Oh, this is really bad.
You're being a douchebag and there's no redeeming qualities right now.
You're not even a douchebag who means well.
This is my acting choice for today.
Terrible.
I just want to point out you are missing one. It's the cartoon Infinity.
What? Did he call me Picasso with a T? No, that
I
was...
said you're missing one.
What's
There
that?
was a cartoon, and it was called Stargate Infinity.
There was a cartoon called Stargate?
Infinity.
How many? What? No, what?
There was a cartoon.
There was a Stargate.
Just because someone draws something.
When does this make it real?
Are you?
Was it like Doctor Strange in Stargate? Like, what is...
No, they were like in Iron Man suits, weren't they?
I'm sorry, when you talk that funny English way, we can't understand.
And international incident.
It could be worse. I could be talking scabs, so you know.
When did it come out?
So long ago.
It was a Stargate show called Infinity.
It was an anime.
I didn't even know. But I know there was a video game. I was in the video game.
So that's weird. I didn't know.
I didn't know there was a cartoon.
Somebody now needs to Google it.
Who saw it? Probably our answers. Who knew about it?
Okay, well, why don't you guys come up here and we'll
I
ask
know.
you questions.
Yeah.
We don't really know what we're talking about, apparently.
Might be more effective.
Yeah.
All right, ask us a question we can answer. Come on, guys. Give us a softball, all right?
No, I want the hard ones.
Yeah, catch him underhand.
Hi guys. Thanks for coming over, very much appreciated. My question is, obviously the Stargate program is a government conspiracy theory, technically. Are any of you actually conspiracy theorists at all?
No, because it's not true.
I have an open mind for almost, I mean, I
Like
love
what?
listening to conspiracy theories and stuff.
Hampton being a prime example.
Oh, the Stargate? Oh, there's definitely Stargates.
Well, when there's the possibility that your last presidential election was a Soviet coup. I mean, I'm sorry, a Russian coup. There's no real reason to be a conspiracy theorist anymore. It's kind of been co-opted by reality.
International.
I'm sorry.
What about that now?
I'm sorry I said Soviet.
Can we stay with you? We live here now. I have an open mind, and I used to always be fascinated by everything from UFOs to conspiracy theories and all that. But my favorite thing was when we were being interviewed, when we were first premiering. Jameel Walker-Smith, God bless him, who played Greer on Universe, was answering this reporter's question, like, what was it like preparing for the show? And he likes to screw with people, but a lot of times they don't realize he's screwing with them. And he went off on this 10-minute rant about how hard it was for us to go through zero grav training and how we spend time in the atmosphere. And the reporter's like, and the rest of the cast were like, what? The reporter straight up believed him. No one ever commented on the fact that it wasn't real, and we went on.
That's actually amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the idea that there's a part of me that whenever you do any sci-fi thing, hope someone comes up to you and is like, by the way, this is all real. We are going to go shoot in space today. But you just can never talk about it, or you'll die. That's cool. See, I told you, I like to end everything with a... Catch it when it's up here and just bring it down.
Just like,
Yeah, that's fun. Next.
I believe in aliens.
I'm here.
I know.
In case nobody's already done it, I've just googled the Stargate Infinity, and I've got it right on my phone right now if you want to read it.
Well, if we watch it now, it'll be the end of the panel by the time we're done.
No, just...
Rubbish.
What are you're just
Tweet it to me.
You're just gonna read to us?
Well, if you want, yeah.
Can you tweet me the link to it?
According to this,
Let's all read.
IMDb gave it.
in the near future, a veteran of the Stargate program, 4 cadets and a mysterious alien are prevented from returning to Earth by a traitor. The heroes must use the Stargate network to find another way back home while keeping one step ahead of their enemies. That was Stargate Infinity, 2002 to 2003.
It also kind of sounds like the general description for most episodes. There's a thing that people go through in space and someone doesn't want them to go through it. Like that's every episode of Stargate ever. Did you find it?
My friend Mark did a voice in it. I guess it's good.
How did I never hear it?
Oh no, we can, here. Hold on.
Is this,
Hold on a second.
was it like Stargate Teletubbies?
Like a 30-minute intro.
This is the intro to Stargate Infinity.
Whoa, look at that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
just watch something?
Watch Rick and Morty.
David, you're so blanched right now.
It's not a very effective whisper.
All right. We're going to ask you a question. Which of the 3 Stargate series had the best opening credits? All right?
That's not fair. We didn't have opening credits.
Well, that's what I mean. So it'll be a shorter competition. You had no opening credits?
No, it's a noise one.
That was all just... All right, well, that's one. You can go for... Was that right?
I mean, you had more bass to yours.
Can we do that in 3-part harmony? You do low, and I'll do All right, that was the best opening.
It's funny, actually, that is the best opening.
Stargate Telephone. It's a new show. We'll pitch it.
I want to do Stargate AARP, where we all come back and we're all very old. Of course, this will be 30 years in the future. I'll be dead, but you guys will be old. You guys and Chris Judd.
I would rather you come back and you're back to being a douchebag. Come full circle.
Mr. Wolsey! I'm sorry. We amuse ourselves and no one else.
You should have seen us tooling around Telford the other day.
You sure they didn't kill off any Stargate character in any of the series? Who would it be and how would they die?
Thanks. No.
Was that a question for you?
I think it's for all of us. I don't know. None of them, because I liked them all.
If you could be any
If you
character,
could
Kill them.
kill off a character?
Yeah.
I would have killed off Wolsey. Definitely. He was a total douche. No. I thought it was. I don't like when they kill off regular characters. They like to kill off doctors on that show. Did you notice that?
They like to kill off everybody on that show.
But
No, I don't mean just, I mean literally everyone.
But they killed off both Keller and they killed off. Yeah, they killed off 2 doctors.
Beckett.
And for a guy who used to be a doctor, I was understandably nervous.
And Beckett and Weir were both doctors also.
Beckett and Weir. Well, they did kill Weir, but didn't she transcend, or did she?
I mean, that's what she called it, but my bank account and her bank account said she was dead.
We're gonna transition you away from money.
Yeah, exactly. You transcended to where we don't give you checks anymore.
You've transcended the need to make a living.
You're above this. Eating, rent.
It's a shame.
We've written you off the set.
You're above it all now. I'm gonna need your parking pass. Because you transcended, you don't need to try.
From now on, we only refer to your character and we don't pay you when we do.
I love it when people who don't know TV and film are like, they referenced your character, congrats. You're like, I didn't get a paycheck for it. Didn't help.
Now we're 3 actors bitching in front of you. What else do you want to know?
So just actors in front of you.
Really? Just actors. Let's talk about how hard it is to pee when you're in a costume with a hidden zipper. Things like that you guys don't think about, right?
It's the minutia.
I mean, how hard is it for a wraith to pee? I mean, how about a male wraith? It's not fair to you.
I would say probably easier than trying to keep one of the bloody beards on.
You're also assuming a wraith has
Were you ever wraith? You weren't wraith. You were wraith.
I was
Semi-wraith.
I was half wraith.
And what was your wardrobe when you were half a wraith?
Oh, just super badass.
Super badass?
Yeah, I had like just custom leather, cool things.
Was it hard to pee?
No, I had a They just customized my military pants, so I had a normal.
You had complete access.
No,
I could hang on whenever I wanted.
These are the things that you think. I mean, I know this is a Stargate panel and not a Star panel, but just for a 30-second digression, it took Jerry Ryan 40 minutes to get out of that outfit.
And I would have done all 40 of those minutes.
I totally offered
I would have helped her. I would have helped her for 39 of those minutes because I would have been finished in 1 minute.
I'm so glad I gave you the opportunity to say that. Because the great thing is when you embarrass yourself, it just gives me the day off.
Stop.
Next question. All right, no more Star Trek. That's it. That was the last Star Trek.
No.
It's not so unfair. It's just
No,
you're here to talk about Alf as a drug addict and Stargate.
And the virtually unknown but ran for 3 years Stargate cartoon.
What is the name of that thing, like the Bernstein Bears thing? That
The Stargate cartoon ran
no, the Mandela effect. The Mandela effect. I feel like the Stargate Infinity thing is the Mandela effect. Like it didn't exist. Someone just matrixed that shit into existence. I don't believe it. Someone changed
to
it.
tell you that there was a Stargate cartoon.
That's the worst Morpheus. Not the best impression, but that's the worst Morpheus. Can you imagine? Like, I'm here to mess up your world. What are you gonna do? What's different?
There's a Stargate.
Am I a superhero? No, there's a cartoon you've never seen.
Were any of the voices actors from the other Stargate shows?
No.
Was David Hewlett on it? Damn it, was he?
I'm sure he was.
Somehow.
I'm sure he owns it.
Somehow.
My question is for David. The Stargate Universe show.
Can you just look up at your phone to see what the name of it was?
No.
The question is, Stargate Universe.
The show finished way too early, in my opinion. But I wondered if you knew which direction it was taking, and if not, which direction would you have liked it to have gone?
I'll do the condensed one because is anyone who wasn't here yesterday? Okay. I actually do know what would have happened in season 3 because right before we.
But he won't tell you.
He won't tell you.
He keeps doing this to me. He's like, I do know. At breakfast, he's like, I know what was going to happen in season 3. I was like, what? He's like, oh, I'm going to go back to my room. It's the third time.
I forgot to say this during the panel yesterday, so I'm glad you asked. I won't ever say what it is because Brad described it to me while we were still filming season 2. I won't ever say it because 1, there's always a hope that maybe someday they'll do it. And if I tell people, they'll never do it. And then 2, it's Brad's story. So I feel like that's not my place to tell him. But I will say that when we weren't going to get renewed, they were thinking of doing movies. And the first movie was going to be SG-1 Atlantis and Universe all together. And it would have wrapped up SG-1 Atlantis. And then the second movie would have wrapped up SGU. So that would have been cool. I won't say plot stuff though. But yeah, I survived. For anyone who's wondering, I survived. I would have survived. Even if you said I didn't survive, I'd show up on set. I'm like, still here. Excuse me.
I don't want to transcend.
Ascend.
I'm keeping this parking pass.
I don't know what transcend would be. Sorry, I'm being a nerd for a moment. I'm like, it's ascend. But I'm trying to think what transcend would be in the story world.
Ascend.
Transcend would sounds like you transport somewhere. Or you transition into it. I don't know. Anyway.
Ascend. Yeah.
I like to go to stand-up comedy shows and ask them really terrible, depressing questions right after their final.
What stand-up comedy shows allow you to ask questions?
All of them, if you don't mind getting arrested. Hey-oh! I don't know. Next question. Stand-up comedy.
I got one joke. Any questions?
A question to David.
Yes.
I was wondering, in your words, what was the final destination of Destiny, and what would the team find out with?
Well, I pitched an idea to Brad while we were filming because we didn't know we were going to get canceled. I pitched an idea. I pitched 2. 1, I loved the idea that they all wake up, they can't find Eli until they open up Chloe's stasis pod that was in there with them. But the one that I pitched to him, because for those of you who don't know, I tried to lose weight the whole show, so I slowly lost weight over 2 seasons. But I was really going to try to lose a bunch before we started filming season 3. So my pitch to him was, everyone wakes up, no one can find Eli. They're searching the whole ship for him. And they finally get to this one room, and the door opens, and you see this guy doing pull-ups. And they're like, what's going on? He drops down shirtless, he's got an eye patch and a giant gun. He's like, it's been a long 3 years. And Brad Wright just looked at me and went, no.
I just binge watched all the Rambo movies.
Or the exact opposite. I'm just way heavier and I'm just covered in potato chips. I'm just Netflixing everything.
There it is.
You fixed stuff?
Oh, I meant to do that. And what did Brad say to that?
That's probably the one he wrote.
I know a lot of discussion at the time about the different tone of Universe versus the two Stargate shows, which were much more kind of winking at the camera, self-referential, and they were breaking the fourth wall, we call it all the time, where it's like we all know we're on a show, we all know we're going to save the world in 43 minutes, which was kind of the tone, I guess, that Richard Dean Anderson set in the first one. And Universe was much more of a dramatic series, respecting the fourth wall, much grittier and realistic, which I really liked. I mean, I got it right away. I mean, I binge watched their whole first season when I was going to go up and work on the show early in the second season. And I really liked it because that's my preference for science fiction. I don't like, I don't like the send-up aspect of it, even though I enjoy doing it on Atlantis. I really like the more dramatic context. But I know that when you have a loyal fan base to a certain kind of storytelling, and then you change that up on them, then sometimes, there's a reaction. It's like, wait a minute, this is not the Stargate that we know.
Well, interestingly, first of all, when Richard came on,
it sort of went from one, it was sort of a great.
It was a progression for sure, yeah. But when Richard came on the show, the greatest compliment that I ever heard was, he was like, this is so much fun. He's like, I'm glad you guys are doing this. I'm glad that I get to come and play in this world. Because he kind of wanted to try something different too. But weirdly, I said, I don't have the balls to have said this before we started filming, but I told him after, I'm like, you know what I wish, Brad? As a fan of Stargate, and this is Stargate to me. This Stargate universe is as much Stargate as SG-1 or Atlantis, because it's all the same world, the same creators. They created this world. This was their idea. But I wish we had called the show Universe, just Universe, because it's still Stargate. You don't have to have it in the title. It would have brought in some people who were turned off, who had never tried it before, and were like, oh, I don't know how to start this late. Would let them try something new. And it would have kind of given a wink to people who already knew the show before that this is going to be something a little different, in a weird way, I think just calling it Universe would have helped. But to me, as a fan of all of them, it was a progression. It was, a natural evolution. It wasn't pooping on the past. It was just, taking it into a new direction.
Well, remember they tried that with Enterprise. Let's not call it Star Trek, let's just call it Enterprise. And I mean, it's like when you have a loyal fan base, they can get upset about anything, right? It's like, for example, those of you guys who were fans of either SG-1 or Atlantis or both, when you first watched Universe, the first couple episodes, did you take to it right away, or did you go, oh wait?
Some do, some don't. I find that weirdly, people who loved SG-1 more than Atlantis were easily going into Universe. People who preferred Atlantis to SG-1 had a much bigger problem because a huge tonal shift between the two. But it's weird though, because as a Star Trek fan, I mean, fandom has changed, but Next Gen was my thing. I loved Next Gen. And then I watched all of Deep Space Nine, and I watched some of Voyager. Eventually saw it all.
I watched more of Universe.
No, there was a lot of Voyager, so I feel like I watched a good amount. My point being Enterprise, I watched the first episode, and I love Scott Bakula, and I love everyone in it, and I was like, oh, this isn't really for me.
I didn't watch it.
And so I didn't watch it. I just didn't watch it. I didn't actively campaign against it, and I wasn't like, you ruined Star Trek. But I was like, oh, this one's not for me. There are different ones, and it fits different puzzle pieces for you, The best part of Voyager was a sexy doctor. Oh, man. Oh.
Thank you, dear. I thrive on your support.
Anyone else? Someone else? Pass that shit around.
Hi there. Quick question about the proposed Roland Emmerich reboot of the cinematic version of Stargate. He's always said that he didn't like the TV shows. How does that feel to you?
Technically he was quoted as saying that, he kind of like Star Wars style. He was like, well, it's not canon. I don't think he specifically said I watched them all and they sucked. But it didn't. It's not happening anyway, right? It fell apart.
What's that?
They were going to reboot. He was going to do, from what I hear, he was going to do a trilogy of the movies to reboot Stargate, just completely discounting the shows. But the rumor that I've heard is after Independence Day, Resurgence came out and didn't quite do what they thought. They scrapped it.
What did they think that terrible piece of crap was going to do?
I watched it on the flight on the way here, and I'm like,
Well, I didn't even see it, but what was so bad about it, other than everything?
It's too tough. Imagine the first movie
without any of the
just
characters.
without anyone that you liked in the first movie.
Brent Snyder's in it. Yeah, they do something weird with him because, like, in the first, look, first of all, it's like someone watched the first. Oh man, we're gonna do it. I'm never gonna be in the next one. It was like somebody watched the first one and went, okay, what do we need? Okay, they play with their throats to talk. Brent Spiner. And like aliens, like they just went off and did something. Like they're like cartoon versions of the original. Like, even Brent Spiner, you're a fun scientist. Okay, cool. So you just run around. It's like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do stuff?
None of it made any sense.
Yeah, it was really strange. I mean, I still watched it. That's the funny thing. Like, that's my favorite thing about it. Like, that's the worst show in the world. I watched it 20 times and I never got better.
That reminds me of how many Star Trek fans does it take to screw in a light bulb? 4. 1 to screw it in, and 4 and 3 to argue about how much better they did it on the original series. Truth.
I mean, that being said, if I'm in it, I think it'll be great. I'm against them rebooting anything unless I can be in it. I'm a fan of work. I like paying bills. It's just me. Would you guys watch it? A reboot of the original movie? Like Stargate movie reboot?
I think.
I watch it. I watch terrible things all the time. So yeah.
But the original movie was really good. Mm-hmm. The original Stargate movie. So
I don't think you need to reboot anything you can rent.
yeah.
You know, like if you can watch the original, just watch the original.
Also, I don't understand why everything needs to be like a retelling of an origin story or whatever. Realistically, they can just move on. It's like, how many Spider-Mans do I have to see?
Have you heard that joke? Is that the Spider-Man joke?
No, I lived the Spider-Man joke.
Is that all the superheroes are sitting around like on a team event and everyone's telling stories and Spider-Man goes, did I tell you guys ever about the time? And they're like, we know! He's the only one that's been told like 1,000 times. Again.
But yeah,
Unfortunately, we've got to lose Mr. Robert Ricardo today because he's going to do a photo shoot. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr.